an introduction to the circular economy. Today I'm going to look at the diagram and dissect parts of it so that we can start to see how business models can fit into the circular economy and how we can extract more value by using this model. First part I'd like to start at is down through the middle of the diagram here. I think that this here really explains our current economy. It's the harvesting and the extraction of raw materials, the processing, the using and consumption of, and then the dumping of those materials. I think this line here, for me, represents lost opportunity and lost value. Any business that allows material to either be lost through pollution or downcycling or landfill is really losing value in this model. So let's look in more detail at the circular economy, and we can see here that there's we've got the biological nutrients or biological material, and we've also got the technical nutrients and technical material. The biological nutrients cycle through the biosphere, and so that when they finish being consumed by our economy, they must be safe to go through that process. And then finally they re-enter the process through food and fibre. The technical nutrients keep their quality and cycle for as long as possible, extracting as much value out of that material until they re-enter the system. I think we'll start with the technical cycle here and look at this process through here and the cascades that have been drawn through. I'll just draw your attention that recycling is the last part of this model. And so before we get to recycling, we've actually got three other mechanisms to extract value through the circular economy. I'm going to use the mobile phone as an example. Today we're more interested in the performance of a mobile phone. We're quite happy to upgrade regularly to get the latest phones with the latest performance. So under that model, let's say that you're happy with your phone for 2 years and you've got the latest phone, and instead of buying the phone, you buy the performance for 2 years. So you've got a 2 years here, and then at the end of that, because you're a first adopter, you want to get rid of the phone and upgrade to a new one. But there's somebody in this over here that is quite happy to be on a slightly lower contract and have the reuse of that phone. So the company takes it back, cleans it up, and redistributes it for another 2 years on a performance contract. When that customer is finished with the performance of that mobile phone, the next one is to refurbish or remanufacture. So this gets a bigger upgrade and it re-enters the economy for another 2 years. So in effect, we've taken a mobile phone and we've given it 6 years of life, and we've also in the process created a stronger business to customer relationship, and we've taken ownership of the material through that process. After that 6 years is up, the company puts it through the recycling process, and I'll go into that more detail in the next video about design thinking for the circular economy and how that plays in a role within this model. So at the end of the phone's life, we've extended the phone's life to 6 years. It's not sitting in someone's drawer, and it's also been re-entered the system. It's restoring the nutrients of the system and being made into a new product. The advantage here is because you've extracted more value from this device, you get to the recycling stage and you're able to do that process or at least facilitate that process of reverse logistics, which is key. The other point I'd like to make is that this creates a more distributed economy. Is that if you think of the maintenance model or the reuse model, it's unlikely that the mobile phone will be shipped back to China or wherever it was manufactured. It's likely that there's going to be local agencies to do this work in the technical cycle, and so the nutrients or the material is going to stay local for as long as possible. In the biological cycle, you can see that you have cascades as well. You can use the biological material more than once, and I mentioned that with the Blue Economies model of coffee through to growing mushrooms through to feedstock. And also then you can also see that there's an extraction of biochemicals. And that brings me to the last point, that these two cycles, even though there's a line through the middle, are actually working in symbiosis. And the example I'll use for the technical cycle is carbon dioxide may be produced on this side, and plants see that as a food stock or a resource, so it becomes food in this cycle. And the same can occur in the extraction of chemicals. We can make polymers and fuel from biological material, and that can feed back into the technical cycle as well. So the two are not mutually exclusive. It's just a matter of making sure that whatever enters the biosphere is safe for the biosphere, and whatever materials in here is at a pure, high quality flow. Well, I hope you can understand my mess here. I think that this diagram is fantastic in presenting the ideas behind the circular economy. I certainly find it very useful myself, and I hope you found my explanation useful as well. I look forward to next time when we look at the design thinking behind the circular economy, and I hope you've enjoyed watching this. Thank you.